In the history of mankind, there have been some epic rivalries. Magic vs. Bird, Germany vs. Europe, Crosby vs. Ovechkin, Pepsi vs. Coca-Cola, Bill Cosby vs. Danny Masterson, and of course, Konami's Blades of Steel and Nintendo's Ice Hockey. If you grew up with the NES, chances are that you had to pick between either Blades of Steel or Nintendo's Ice Hockey as a kid. Luckily, no matter what you or your parents chose, you were getting something special, something amazing. When it comes to old school hockey games, these two games raise the crossbar for what hockey games could be and should be moving forward. If you grew up with these games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The legacy of Nintendo's Ice Hockey can be summed up in one word: legendary. This could have been the game that you and your siblings played non-stop and fought over. The game that you spent countless hours playing with your friends after school on the floor of your living room. The game that created multiple core memories of your childhood. The game where you kept notes on how well you performed with the specific lineup that you picked from its classic menu. The memories that this game created across a generation are endless, mainly because this game is a prime example of simple yet insanely addictive gameplay. Before these games were released, good hockey video games were pretty much non-existent, just pixelated garbage on your CRT TV. Sure, they had some charm to it, but you never got the true feeling of hockey on your TV screen. But the hockey gods were good to us when the NES was released. It took a few years, but the dream came true. Nintendo's Ice Hockey was released in March of 1988, and hockey video games would never be the same. This game is easily one of my favorite NES games of all time, and I know for a fact that I'm not alone on that. This game is timeless, an absolute classic, and almost 40 years later, this game has stood the test of time. It's one of those games that I will never get rid of because no matter how many times I play it, I never get tired of it. Plus, it's one of the best two-player games on the NES. Endless hours have been wasted on the couch playing this gem with a friend or a sibling. It's tough to understand if you've never played it before, but Nintendo's Ice Hockey is a true example of an easy-to-play, hard-to-master video game. And that's the beautiful thing about this game. Anyone can pick this up and play it. With just 2 buttons in your D-pad, 2 unexperienced kids can learn how to play this masterpiece after one game and have a blast. And yet, at the same time, 2 salty, experienced grown men can battle it out on the couch and use their years of experience to outwit their opponent. The biggest feature of this game is the ability to pick your skater's ability. This was such a mind-blowing feature when this game came out. With a team of 4, including your goalie, you get to choose from 3 different style of players. The sissy who's lightning fast, good at the face-off with a pansy-like shot. The average Joe who's, average at everything. He's like Leonardo of the Ninja Turtles. He's just average at everything. Or the tubby bitch, who's a mixture of Goldberg speed and Fulton Reed slapshot. And this is where the replay value is higher than Charlie Sheen in the 1990s. Every game can be something different. You even get to choose the speed and the length of the game. Comment below and let me know what your favorite lineup is. For me, my go-to is 2 skinny, 1 average, and 1 heavy set. But as we all know, there's no wrong way to pick your team. The team is only as good as its coach, aka you. To be honest, one of my favorite things about this game is the fact that you can control your goalie when the puck is in your zone. No matter who you're controlling, your goalie will always mimic your moves. Because of this, you're always controlling 2 players at the same time, the goalie and your selected skater. But at certain times during the game, when your opponent is pressing hard in your zone, jamming the puck down your throat, you sometimes just have to ignore your skater, throw on the goalie pads, and make that diving save to take back control of the puck. Such an awesome feature in the game that adds depth to the gameplay as well as your strategy. In case you didn't know, there's some pretty cool cheats in the game where you can have no goalies and make the puck frictionless, moving constantly until a skate touches it or goes in the net. Look them up online, it's worth giving it a shot. It's one of those cheat codes where, you have to hit A and B on both controllers at a specific screen and then press the start button. You get the idea. It's the typical NES cheat code. Overall, this game is an NES masterpiece in my opinion. This game, along with Blades of Steel, paved the way for hockey games such as NHL 94 and other arcade releases such as Hit the Ice. These games are the godfather of hockey video games. This is the type of game where, if this was one of 10 games that you owned as a kid, chances are this probably got played the most. We all know that deep down, your favorite sports games got the most usage in your collection. If you own an NES and never played this game before, you are missing out big time. The gameplay, the music, everything about it is classic. Even if your team Blades of Steel, give this a shot. A slap shot. You won't regret it. After all, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, right? It's safe to say that this is easily one of the most collectible video games of all time due to the fact that it's under $10 on eBay, on top of being one of the best games on the NES. If you don't own this, or never even played this before, what are you waiting for? This amazing hockey game belongs in every single retro gamer's collection.